Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 25 of the Run in the Paint podcast. I'm Miles. I'm joined by Joey and Jackson. Guys, how are you doing today?
Doing great.
Could be better.
How could it be
What?
better, Jackson?
Because once every couple of days I have to watch the Rockets play, and they are awful.
Oh my, he's gone a complete 180 with his Houston Rockets.
Started
I
off
still
so
like
great
him.
this year.
I still like them, but just, man, it's tough to watch.
Hey, at least you're not a Bulls fan or a Nets fan.
Oh,
Thank
that
goodness.
I feel bad for.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of a Nets. I'm rooting for them to lose.
Well, that's right. That's right. But yeah, we're first episode since really games have been coming back on. And there's been a lot of stuff to happen. We've got some news to go over. We're gonna do another contender or pretender segment like we did earlier this season.
Why do you say pretender like that? Pretender.
Pretender or contender,
Put some
Jackson?
emphasis on it, dude.
Heck
I don't
yeah.
know.
Heck yeah. But we'll have the contender versus pretender segment. Then we're gonna do a draft of all current international players. So that'll be a lot of fun. But first,
Another great segment idea by me.
First,
Okay.
let's get to the news. Came out this morning that the LA Clippers are doing a whole new rebrand of a new logo, new court, new jerseys. Guys, what did you think about their new look?
Well, I mean, it's perfect timing because they're gonna rebrand their trophy room this year.
Rebrand their trophy room?
AKA add some gold in there.
Oh my gosh, that doesn't have anything to do with this. These jerseys are clean, man.
I was about to say I don't care for the court as much, but those jerseys are clean. I really like.
Kawhi is so good looking. He makes it look.
Amazing. Okay. It's perfect timing too for like their new stadium, so I'm hyped for it. Good for them. I wish the Cavs would go through a rebrand.
Yeah, maybe when Donovan Mitchell leaves.
No, he's not leaving.
Oh boy, Jackson had to bring it up since Nick is unable to join us today.
I don't actually mean that because I have a Donovan Mitchell City jersey and I don't want it to look.
But yeah, just cool to see their new look. Because these jerseys and logos, like the Clippers, they've really.
I like the Clippers' current stuff. It's cool.
It's not bad. I think this look is gonna be good to go back to their kind of retro modern look. Like it's
Didn't the Cavs go into a rebrand literally like 5 years ago?
No, literally last season.
Yeah, and it looks terrible. So I want to go back.
Oh boy.
No, you guys need to go back to it. You guys keep changing it.
Because they change what's good. We were good when LeBron was back the second time.
Well, that's
we were good when LeBron was here the first time.
Mhm.
And I don't know why we changed it. I don't. But for the Clippers jerseys and the new look, man, it looks like back when like the Lob City, like the cursive Clippers jerseys, looks nice.
I don't think that's what they want though. They don't want to look like the Lob City Clippers.
Well, they got the different colors, but like I'm just talking about the writing and stuff.
Yeah, even before that, it looks like the Darius Miles, Lamar Odom Clippers. Like even those looks like those jerseys.
I like Darius Miles. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, I like these. Very nice. Good on them. Good job, Steve Ballmer.
Good job, Clippers. Good job, Clippers.
They finally did something good.
Next up, reported quick news that the Phoenix Suns are expected to host the 2027 NBA All-Star Game. So, I mean, just a small little thing. It's still a long time down the line, but...
Hey, I mean...
Who's hosting it next year?
Next year is San Francisco, and then the year after that is the Clippers.
Wait, so is that Warriors next year?
Yeah, it's the Chase Center, which is like one of the biggest state-of-the-art arenas.
The new one.
Then the Intuit Dome.
Exciting. So we're gonna see Steph, Draymond, and Pods in the Skills Challenge.
Oh yeah. That's like the thing to look forward to with this is like the skills challenge home team.
Actually, who would be the 3 for the Warriors? Steph, and Steph.
Steph, and Steph.
Steph in the skills, Steph in the 3-point, Steph in the dunk contest. We got this.
The what? What are you talking about? No. There's 3 different rounds to the skills challenge, and 3 different players for each team.
I think historic-wise, they might just do Steph, Clay, and Draymond if they're still with the Warriors.
Or Chris Paul.
No. CP3? Oh, well, that's some news too. Actually, I didn't even write it down. Chris Paul is going to be back tonight as this is going to get released.
Yeah,
I thought it was
course.
tomorrow.
Yes, as this video is released.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Durr. Can I get a Durr?
Chris Paul is listed as active against the Wizards. So for a team that's been, slowly winning their way back, they've won a bunch of games.
Crumbling down.
They get Chris Paul back as what? Jackson, Chris Paul's a Rockets legend. What's going on?
CP0.
CP0.
0 rings. 0.
Oh my god.
Dude, Jackson is turning into the old head today. He only cares about talking about the rings.
Yeah.
0 inches above 6 feet tall.
That is a fact.
How tall are you, Gaga?
It's irrelevant.
Hey, can't disrespect to the Hall of Famer. Shout out to Chris Paul.
Thank you for calling me a Hall of Famer. Oh.
What is going on, Jackson?
Shout out to the point god, CP3.
It's just not true. It's me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, next story.
Yeah, why do we call Chris Paul the point god? I'm actually irritated by that now because what has he done to become a god? Make one champion and become he's made 1 champion. He's been to the finals once.
He is the god of point guards. He is the god of point guards.
I get it. The Knicks haven't been to the finals in a while. So what?
The Knicks are the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA.
It's just not true.
It's exactly true.
But along with the Warriors, this perfectly goes into Steve Kerr agreeing to a contract extension, 2 years, $35 million.
Dumb.
What to line himself up with Steph Curry's contract? Why is that dumb?
Too much money.
We got a negative Nancy today, man.
He really is, man.
He's not as good as people think. He's a fraud.
How many championships?
We're not talking about championships today.
You've been talking about them the whole episode. Steve Kerr. There's no other coach for the Warriors with Steph on their team. It's perfect that they align the contracts together.
Mike Brown.
Terrible coach.
He's on the
You're talking about bad coaches. You mentioned Mike Brown.
Well, hold on. Reigning
coach of the year.
Mike Brown is a fantastic coach for the Sacramento Kings.
So okay, for the Kings, maybe. But I'm still salty about how he was with the Cavs. I hate Mike Brown. He's a terrible coach.
He had a horrible roster to work with, and he is a great coach now with a good roster.
He had LeBron James.
LeBron's not a whole roster.
Sasha Pavlovich
was a dog.
It's not a good roster.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Larry Hughes.
Shut up.
Yeah, that's not moving anything.
Delonte West. Yeah, no, I'm just proving your point.
That man doesn't even have a house to live in.
Your point.
Delonte West does not even have a house to live in.
Jeez.
Wow, brutal. My
Jackson
God.
is being brutal. He's combining himself with Nick today.
Coach Cove, we need you back.
We really do. Oh my
Claim
goodness.
injured reserves.
Next piece of news, some injury news for an all-star. Trae Young is having a procedure done on his left hand, and he's going to be out for the next 4 weeks. Well, he'll be reevaluated in 4 weeks.
What was that again? What was that? You kind of flagged. Lagged out a little bit.
Trae Young out for 4 weeks.
Oh, for his finger. Yeah.
Left finger injury. Now, it's kind of a weird place for the Hawks because they're essentially locked into the 10th seed. No matter what happens, because the Brooklyn Nets are crumbling.
Yeah, the Hornets are about to make a push.
I think the Hawks are actually going to get in to move up to the 6th spot now that Trae Young's out. DeJounte Murray's gonna carry.
Stop talking.
See, I don't.
Enough from you today.
Trae
Enough
Young
from
has,
me today. Stop it, Coughlin. Stop it.
See, Trae Young hasn't been the reason why the Hawks have been so bad this year.
No, it's because they have 2 point guard or 2 guards that can't play defense.
Like legitimately, Trae Young this year has been a better defender than DeJounte Murray. He's shown way more effort this year. Seriously, he's improved defensively a lot this year, but it hasn't helped really.
Maybe just DeJounte sucks. He's the most overrated player in the NBA.
Can't argue with that because DeJounte's whole thing was that he was a good defender.
Now he's a scorer. It completely switched.
But you can't be a scorer only averaging 21. You got to be averaging 25 if you're just going to be a scorer.
What?
I'm sorry.
Well,
okay, next piece of news. I'm just ignoring any comment Coughlin says from now on.
Just Jackson Kendrick Perkins Goglin here today. All right, moving on. Let's talk about NBA Fight Night, kind of, on Friday with the Heat and the Pelicans. We've got 5 players suspended now after the altercation. With Jimmy Butler, Najee Marshall getting into it, then Thomas Bryant and Jose Alvarado getting into it separately in a different thing, and then
Don't mess with Grand Theft Alvarado.
No.
All mid.
Exactly. I can't with you right now. I can't.
Jimmy is the best.
Was it that night?
What?
Was it the best?
Wasn't there I thought I saw there were 2 fights that night.
Yeah, well, that was the big one. I mean, what did you guys catch this fight? Like, what did you guys think about this altercation?
I don't watch the Pelicans or the Heat. I watch good teams like the Wizards.
I'll be honest, I didn't watch it either.
Yeah, it went on for a while. It was like a 2-minute thing where one thing started and the other thing started. But I mean, I guess it's all the right thing. I mean, you can't have that happening.
No.
It's like the one hockey player has been in 5 fights in his first 4 games. And he had one that lasted 2 minutes. I was like, dude, who is this kid?
Respect.
His name's Rhett. His last name's RH something. He's a beast.
Love hockey.
Another bit of news. Jordan Poole career resurgence coming off the bench.
Oh yeah, I guess that is not really news, but I mean, Jordan Poole is playing well off the bench.
Oh, news. Jordan Poole pulls a Karl Anthony Towns and drops 30+ points in an L.
People always lose with it. Luka drops 30 a night in every loss. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
What are you talking about?
That's enough from you.
What are you talking about, guys?
Hush.
But yeah, the Wizards, I mean, talking about the Wizards, they are crumbling down. I mean, we were talking about it last episode with who's going to get the worst record. The Wizards are on an 11-game losing streak, and I'm pretty sure they haven't won a home game since December. Something like that.
Yep, that tracks.
They are perfect. They're the best team I've ever seen. I love them.
But another shout out to Victor Wembanyama for getting the first 5x5 in a while.
I like Victor a lot, but bro did not want to play for us, so I kind of got beef.
Who's us?
The Rockets.
Well, can you blame him?
I mean, I mean, that's complete. I mean, that's off topic, but I mean, Şengün was already there. Why would Wembanyama want to go to the Rockets?
Aren't you happy with Şengün?
There's nobody I love more on this planet than that man. Don't even. I trade my whole family for Şengün. Actually,
okay.
Shout out to the Goglin family.
Along with the fights that happened, Joey, you mentioned there was another sort of scuffles that happened, and There were two, really, in the Hornets-Warriors game and the Timberwolves-Nets game, and they both related to this sort of unwritten rule that you're not allowed to – I don't even know. You're not allowed to score when the game is over in the final minute.
Whatever
I really
happened to
don't
playing
understand.
for the final buzzer? Yeah.
Exactly.
Dennis Schroeder did it twice, actually, in the last couple games. He's just been a little crybaby.
I understand like the unwritten rule of when you shoot the ball when the shot clock is off and you're winning. That I understand.
Yeah, of course.
What I don't understand is you getting mad when there's still a shot clock. Instead of getting a turnover, they got to throw it up.
No,
Who cares?
The worst was when like CP3, when he was on the Suns, got mad at Zion for doing that.
Well, he also did like a 360 windmill dunk.
Yeah, he did do a crazy dunk.
Yeah, but then CP3 literally did it the next game. Like,
CP3 did a 360 windmill?
No, I just said.
Dang. He really is a point god.
Well, no, I totally agree. Like, if the shot clock is still on, like, the game is still going on. Like, I don't understand why these teams are doing this, especially the Hornets, where like it was like a week or two ago where they were caught on the bench laughing, down by 30 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Like, what, you want them just to hold on to the ball and get a turnover? Everybody cares about stats nowadays. Like, chill.
Well, especially Mike Conley. Mike Conley doesn't want those turnovers.
No.
Yeah. Like, they need to relax, man.
Dennis Schroeder.
Teams, like, you shouldn't have to dribble the ball out with 50 seconds to go in the game. Like, that's just unnecessary.
If unwritten rules are fine, and I understand them, but when there's literally, like, if there's more than 24 seconds left in the game, and they're winning,
anything's up for grabs.
Oh, anything's up for grabs.
Yeah.
Play defense. Show some heart. Don't let them score if you don't want them to score.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It is what it is. And if you think, oh, well, I thought the shot clock was off. Well, have some more, like, basketball IQ and, like, be aware of your surroundings.
Or how about don't let it get to that situation and play defense?
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly
it. Just normalize NBA fights.
Agreed.
Oh, man.
Dude.
We were talking in the pre-pod lobby about Joey potentially becoming a referee.
That would be so much fun. Yeah. I would allow fights. I would not call a tech on anybody.
Don't even. You would glaze the Cavs so hard.
Well, that'd be if he made it to an NBA referee. I don't know if we're going that crazy.
Like that one dude, that one Celtics dude.
Huh?
Celtics? What are you talking about?
The one Celtics referee that got fired because he was at, like, they won every game that he...
Oh, I did hear about that. Yeah. That is...
See, that's the thing. Like, I feel like, at least with that kind of job, if I get hired, like, hey, I'm an NBA fan. Oh, are you? Like, here's, like, the questions that they'll be asking. What fan are you? Oh, I grew up in Cleveland. I was a Cavs fan. Okay, we'll make sure to not put you on Cavs games then.
Right.
Okay, that's fine. I understand it. Like, I may have some bias. Like, it happens. I don't, like, if I was doing my job, I wouldn't have bias because I would have to be a professional.
But and they'll send you to New York where Donovan Mitchell will be.
If they send me to New York, okay, then I'm calling every single foul on New York. Sorry.
What about Donovan Mitchell when he's there?
Right.
He's getting a technical and thrown out of the game within the first 5 minutes.
Womp womp.
Oh my.
Any other news, Miles?
No more news. Let's move on to Contender or Pretender, which we did a while ago. We did an episode on this a while ago, earlier in the season when teams were, first starting to get in gear. But we are now in late February, about to get into the home stretch of the regular season, and there's still a ton of teams that we have questions about. So I'm gonna ask teams. Then this is all gonna be about, I guess, conference championship or NBA championship. You can sort of decipher between the two. because basically in each conference, the top 10 in each conference is basically set. Like, we know who's going to be in for each conference for the top 10. So they're all going to be, able to make the playoffs if they're in the play-in tournament or, compete for a title. So let's get started with contender or pretender with the reigning Eastern Conference champion Miami Heat. Now, this is an interesting one. They're currently sitting at a 31-25 record, 7th in the East. And this is basically what they were doing last year, kind of trucking along in the regular season. What do you guys think about the Heat? Can they go on another Cinderella run in the postseason?
Pretender.
Joglin's already singing my favorite Foo Fighters song, so the Pretender. So we'll let him go first. Any reason behind it, or are you just gonna say Pretender?
I think once the playoffs come around, Tyler Hero is going to be a very big liability for that team. And I think him being their, third best player in the regular season, they're basically only going to be down to 2 players that can play in the playoffs. Tyler Hero, we've seen him get played out of the playoffs the last time he was in it. Played off the floor because of bad defensively.
We did see that. That is very true.
And they had a lot better depth back then. Now their depth is kind of cooked.
Yeah, they don't have as much depth. Well, actually, I'd say they do have a decent amount of depth.
They have a decent amount, but
they still have Duncan Robinson. They have Terry Rozier, who's an upgrade on Kyle Lowry.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, once he gets into gear, because he's struggled since he's gotten to Miami.
I mean, maybe if Caleb Martin becomes Jordan again for the playoffs.
You never know.
Can't bank on that.
Yeah, as much as I want to say contender, because I do think they'll always turn it up as soon as late March and April hits, and then they'll just carry that into the playoffs. They just always seem to do that. I just don't think so. So I will also say pretender. If they make it to the conference championship, they're not going to win it.
Yeah. Definitely not beating the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks just have a way better bench than they do. The Cavs have a better bench than they do. The Celtics even kind of have a better bench than they do. Barely, but depth is important in the playoffs. Especially if Tyler Hero gets played off the floor.
As long as you have a really good top 8 or 9, you're good.
Yeah, and the Heat do. It's just hard to I don't know if I can trust them doing that twice in a row. It's just it was so difficult for them last year.
That team yet either.
No.
Yeah.
Terry Rozier has been playing really bad for them. Tyler Hero, like I said, is going to get played out of the playoffs. There goes 2 of your starters that just might not mesh together, might not be playable as much in playoffs this year. Jimmy can't do everything himself.
You never know what could happen though if they get the right matchup. Even right now, there's some tiny path if you wanted to believe that it could happen. Right now they're the 7th seed. They'd play the Cavs in the first round, the Bucks in the second round if they got past the Cavs, and then the conference final would really be the tough one.
Only team in the top 4 I can see them beating is the Bucks. Because Jimmy Butler owns that team.
That's true.
Yeah,
Jimmy
he's
Butler for a reason.
Again, I would have Celtics, but the Celtics are stronger now than they've ever been. I mean, put Drew on, put even Jaylen Brown on Jimmy, you can slow him down.
Yeah.
He's got nobody. I mean,
I won't be incredibly surprised if the Heat start to make a little bit of a run in the playoffs. If they make it even to the conference championship, if they make it past the first 2 rounds, I'm not going to be surprised just because they did it last year where they made it to the finals. They're a playoff team. They trek through the regular season. Once the playoffs hit, then they turn it into overdrive. However, realistically, if it's the Heat versus the Celtics in the conference championship, Celtics are winning in a gentleman's sweep in 5 games.
they're gonna lose to the Knicks in 4, and if they somehow miraculously beat the Knicks, they're gonna have to go against the Timberwolves or the Clippers.
Oh my gosh.
Lose that
it's
series.
just a tough path for any lower seed to really make it. Let's shift over to the Western Conference for, I guess, the Western version of the Heat from last year with the Lakers.
No.
Lakers, they've been similarly to the Heat. They've been trucking through the regular season. They're currently 31-28.
No, I changed mine. Contender.
You're changing it to a contender?
I think so.
Ooh, all right. Why do you say that?
I was about to say, you want to go
they're
off that?
They're a better team all around than they were last year, in my opinion. I think D'Lo is comfortable in this system now. LeBron is still gonna LeBron. AD has been healthy for over a year now. I mean,
yeah.
Vanderbilt, he's a perfect playoff guy. You can plug him in and just put him on any other team's best player.
When you're talking about teams like I said earlier, like you got to be 8-9 deep. They got 8 really good guys.
Who's off their bench? I don't even know.
Rui Hachimura.
Well, they change it depending on matchup. Dinwiddie. So their starting 5 the last few games, it's been D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, LeBron, and AD, with Prince, Reddish, Dinwiddie.
Prince is terrible.
Prince is not
Reddish
good.
is terrible.
Well, Prince has had a solid year shooting the ball for them this year. He's been their starter for most of the year.
He does not do a darn thing else.
It's going to come down to if they can make enough threes and defend the three-point shot enough.
That's why you got Reeves, and that's why you got D'Lo and Dinwiddie off the bench. Dinwiddie can hit the 3.
Yeah.
I will also say contender.
Wow.
Just because I will never count out LeBron. I just can't.
Glazer.
You said contender too because you literally said LeBron is gonna LeBron. LeBron's gonna LeBron. You cannot count out LeBron James even at 38, 39 years old. It's just not until like anything can happen. He could have a great series and they're gonna win a game or 2. It's just you never know. I'm not comfortable in saying they're a pretender because they have LeBron. If you have LeBron, you are an automatic championship contender, even if you have a not so great offense or team around him. But they have like a solid team around him. So
the 2019 Lakers were a contender because LeBron was on that team.
Yes.
I think if he didn't get injured, you could say that they were.
We were talking in the pre-pod lobby about the old Cavs and how terrible his team around him was, or not even the pre-pod lobby. We were talking about earlier in the episode, like about Mike Brown and his old team. In 2007, they made it to the finals. They got swept. They weren't a great team, but they had LeBron, so they made it to the finals. That's what you call a championship contender.
2018 Cavs. That team was awful.
They were awful. I am going pretender. I'm going pretender on the Lakers.
Okay.
Oh, pretender on your 4th seed coming into the year?
Yes, they are a pretender. They are a pretender, in my opinion.
So?
Because, like LeBron said at points throughout the season, yes, they can beat anyone on any given night, but they can also lose and just get crushed by anyone on any given night. Yeah. And in playoff games, you cannot, as a lower seed against greater competition than last year, you cannot afford to have any just bad games.
Well,
you can't give games away.
Teams he can't beat, I think it's us, because we somehow beat them every time we play them. We can't beat anybody else but them.
Well, the Lakers, they have so many just perplexing games. Like yesterday against the Suns, as we're recording this, they lost because they give up a quarter, and they do that in nearly every game. They give up a quarter, they give up a half, and you can't do that in the playoffs and be successful. And
that's smart basketball.
I think they're a pretender.
Yep, I agree. No, I agree on that part, like the logic you're making sense.
Yeah.
But again, still contender for me.
It's
tough to go against LeBron.
It's tough to go against. It's tough to go against LeBron, but
liar, you hate
I'm doing
LeBron.
it. I'm doing it.
You ungrateful Cavs fan.
I'm not ungrateful. I'm realistic.
So because I have LeBron, they're a contender. I'm a Glazer, and because he said LeBron and they're a pretender, he's a Cavs hater.
There's no middle ground
here.
Nope.
Oh my.
So we have it on recording. There is no middle ground.
Amen.
Okay, let's keep on going with one of the teams that the Lakers beat in the playoffs last year, with the Golden State Warriors. Now they've been playing better recently. Jackson's singing his Pretender song once again. What do you guys think about the Warriors?
Steph can't do it all.
Like my favorite Foo Fighters song, The Pretender. They are a pretender.
Draymond's gonna be punching people.
If this was the Warriors of 5 years ago, yes. But unfortunately, Klay Thompson ain't who he used to be.
Well, he is now. He is now, since he's coming off the bench. Finally, as I've been asking.
Well, let's see. Who are they slated to go against in the first round right now?
Well, they'd have to get past the Lake. They are the 10th seed right now, so it's a very long shot. I'm going Pretender because they're the 10th seed.
Let's say they go in as the 8th seed. Who do they play first round?
They play the Timberwolves.
They're getting clamped up. They can't guard either. They can't guard either of those teams.
Yeah,
and those teams can up against them very well.
I trust Steph. I don't trust anybody else on that team though.
Yeah, anymore.
Steph and Kuminga. Sorry, other than those two.
Oh my gosh.
They're the only two that have been consistently good all year round.
You are such a liar. Kuminga started off so bad. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He started off shooting 17% from the three.
Okay, sorry, for the last 2 months then.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Oh my gosh.
I'm upset.
Hey, ever since Draymond Green came back from his suspension, they have been looking better. I am gonna say Pretender. I'm saying Pretender.
Finally, dude. Yeah. Miles loves the Warriors more than he loves the Cavs. I swear.
No, I don't. Oh my gosh, dude. Draymond is averaging 9, 7, and 6, shooting 44% from three. He's
to quote Charles Barkley on NBA TNT. That's what we call a triple single.
Oh yeah, the triple single. That's Draymond's specialty.
He's made the All-Star team with a stat line like that. Let's not forget.
He did make the All-Star game, averaging 7, 7, and 7.
Yeah, that's awful. It's so stupid. He's such a loser. He's a lunatic.
Oh my god.
He should be put in a psych ward.
Okay,
moving
on.
I think some of our viewers would say the same about you.
Yes.
That's what my parents say too.
Let's move on to the Dallas Mavericks. They're a team that we talked about last episode.
Pretender.
Oh.
Jackson's loving this song.
Clearly, Joey didn't watch the Pacers game last night. They didn't play a lick of defense against the Pacers.
It was bad.
It was awful. They looked so bad. I mean, I would have said Pretender even if they would have played good defense and won that game. I don't care. They're pretenders. They just are.
I'm seeing them tomorrow night or tonight as this video's gonna be released.
Oh yeah, they are playing.
I am gonna see them in Cleveland, where I'm gonna be rocking my Kyrie Cavs jersey because he's coming back. But
no, I have a Donovan Mitchell jersey for you. Wear that instead. He's gonna have 50.
No, you can't make it to me in time. Let's see. I'm gonna say contender though. But not finals contender, championship contender.
No, they're neither.
I think they can do conference championship contending, but not NBA finals contending.
They're first or second round exit.
Wait, hey.
You are such a glazer for the Timberwolves. It's not even fun.
Conference finals, we were talking about it. I think they can do it. I think they can do it for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they can make the conference championship.
Yeah, how do you make the conference championship when you give up 155 points a game?
They don't. They're not a bad defensive team. I don't know why we're acting like they're such a bad defensive team.
Who is this we? It's Goglin.
All right, name one good defender in their starting lineup.
One good defender in their starting lineup: Derek Lively. PJ Washington's been good for them. Josh Green has been good for them.
3 games! 3! And he looked terrible last night.
That's what we have 4 games to base.
It's been 1 game.
We've based them off 4 games. We have to make conclusions based on what we've seen, and what we've seen is that the Mavericks have been a good defense with all those guys on the floor in
Didn't they give
4
up
games.
140 last night
to the best offense in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the Pacers score against everyone.
Not everyone.
I think that we talked about it. I think the Mavericks have a shot at a conference finals, no question.
There is very many questions.
But I don't think they can make it interesting and
no.
But I don't see them making it past the conference championship.
They're the worst team I've ever seen offensively and defensively and
offensively they have Luka.
Yeah, they also don't have Mark Cuban as their owner anymore. So
he is
still their owner.
No, he's not.
Yes.
He's the leader in basketball operations, not the owner.
He sold a share of the Mavericks, not the whole thing.
His share. They were talking about it on the broadcast last night, you silly goose.
Okay, well that has nothing to do with the Mavericks' offense and defense, Jackson. Okay, all right. You know what? Let's talk about Jackson's favorite team in the West, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Pretender.
Timberwolves.
How? Literally how?
Timberwolves are the number 1 seed in the West.
Give me one good reason.
It's the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a very good.
It's the one word. Give me one word. It's the playoffs.
And you know how to win in the playoffs? This thing called defense. And you know who's the number 1 defense in the league?
You know who doesn't know how to win in the playoffs? Everybody on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Not true.
That is a fact. Besides Mike Conley and Anthony Edwards, in some flashes the last couple years, their players have struggled in the playoffs. Their core key guys.
The only reason the Timberwolves will make it far is because of a man named Anthony Edwards. It's the only reason they're making it far.
When Cat has a good playoff series, and when Rudy finally has a good playoff series,
I can't wait for them to have one good game and Ant still have better stats than them for the whole series, and you're still going to be like, hey, Cat and Rudy carried.
I'm not going to say Cat and Rudy. I will always say Anthony Edwards did more than everybody else because he is my favorite player on that team.
He is a dog. I will never dispute that. Ant Edwards is the reason Minnesota's relevant again.
I won't agree. I'm not going to agree with that though.
No.
They have the defensive player of the year front runner.
He's the he's the main reason that their offense is comparable. Him and Cat. But the reason that they've been so good this year has been their defense.
Him, McDaniels, and Gobert are the reasons. Because Ant Edwards is so good defensively, too. He might be one of the most underrated defenders in the NBA.
He is a very good star defender in the league.
Again, Ant Edwards is the reason.
See, the thing that the Timberwolves do have going for them that those Jazz teams didn't have is that they do have the perimeter defense to account for the shooting all over the floor, which the Jazz just did not, and that's why.
Yeah, because Donovan Mitchell sucks.
Rudy got played off the floor. Well,
I'm just kidding.
Dude, Mike Conley was on those teams too, but it was also like instead of a Bojan Bogdanovic or Royce O'Neal having to play defense, now it's guys like Jaden McDaniels, Kyle Anderson. So that's better. That's definitely better.
All right, I'm serious. Name a better perimeter defense duo in the NBA than McDaniels and Ant Edwards. You can't.
And Ant Edwards?
Ant Edwards is so good with perimeter defense.
Well, perimeter. That's such a. I mean, that's a tough.
Name two better.
Offhand, you probably can't.
I'm just gonna let you have your time. That's fine.
Offhand, you probably can't because they are the best defense. I mean,
they are the best defense. So how do you want me to dispute that?
You can't dispute it. They have the best defense.
Literally.
Miles, go check the stats after this. You can't find a better one.
I'm telling you, yeah, they're the number one defense. That's what we're saying to you.
That's literally what both of us are saying to you.
Jackson, have ears. Oh my gosh. I'm still gonna say Pretender though. They're not getting past second round.
Thank you.
That's my opinion. Because in the second round, most likely, when the standings, shake out the way that they will, if the Timberwolves stay number one, they'd have to face the Clippers or the Suns in the second round, and that's a tough.
There's no way they're beating either of those teams.
That's a tough ask.
The Suns,
they can.
Easy. They can beat the Suns easy.
They can beat any of these teams, but they can also lose to any of these teams because we've seen their front court struggle in the playoffs no matter what team they've been.
They are boat racing the Suns. The Suns, they have a little bit of size, like Bull, but Bull is getting destroyed.
Okay, speaking of the Suns, let's go to them. They're the next team, the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns are the next team.
Contender.
Now, does their lower seed, like most likely they're going to finish between 5 and 8? Well, yesterday was insane. Yesterday was insane. They started the day, them and the Sacramento Kings started the day at the 8th seed, and they both won their games, and they jumped up to 5 automatically, which is just incredible.
They're a contender. You have Kevin Durant, in the playoffs, Devin Booker turns it up to a new level. I don't really know what playoff Beal looks like.
We haven't seen that in a long time.
We have not seen that in a long time.
We can't really judge that. I mean, we haven't really seen him on the court very much this season either. So, like,
that's the thing. But if they're healthy, man, they add in Royce O'Neal. They got some depth now, and KD championship experience. Booker's made it to the finals. Like, you have guys with playoff experience.
Actually, I'm gonna say Pretender.
So I gotta say Contender with that. They're just those guys. Honestly, even if they didn't have Beal, I would say they could be a contender just because of KD and Booker.
I agree with that.
But with adding Beal and if he's healthy, that's nuts.
I mean, Grayson Allen, they have basically, if Beal's out, they have 3 people who can score the basketball. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. See, to me, their X factor in certain series may be Nurkic, depending on who they face in the postseason. Because, like, right now in the first round, so my thing on this, the Suns, I think they are contenders, but they could also lose in the first round.
Well, they're play who?
It's all or nothing, basically.
Because right now they're playing the Nuggets in the first round, and that's
they're getting destroyed in that series. They're getting absolutely destroyed.
Nurkic revenge series.
I don't care. All right, well, when the Timberwolves play the Nuggets, it's going to be a Rudy revenge series then.
Rudy played for the Nuggets?
He was drafted by the Nuggets.
That doesn't count.
So was Donovan Mitchell.
How many games did he play for them?
That doesn't count.
Thank you.
That doesn't count.
Thank you. Thank you, Miles. Thank you.
I don't care.
Let's shift over to the East. Some tough things to figure out over West. Well, actually, there's one more team in the West. One more team in the West we'll go to, but later on. Let's start off with the 76ers. Now, this is a weird one. Of course, because Embiid is injured. But if he comes back, this kind of relates to a question that Nick asked on the previous podcast. If Embiid comes back and is healthy.
That was me!
What?
I think that was all of us. I think all of us were having that same question.
I asked the question. Go watch it back.
It doesn't matter who asked the question. Just if Embiid comes back, are they a pretender or a contender?
I don't care. If Embiid comes back, they're a second-round pretender still. I don't care.
Why do you say that?
They're pretenders. Embiid has less help this year, and same thing with Rudy. Until I see Embiid play well in the playoffs, I don't care.
No, you're all for Rudy. You're all for Rudy and them performing in the playoffs. You're flipping it for each.
Remember what I said last episode? I said if Rudy plays bad again, Minnesota has Naz Reid to back him up, who can come in and play well. So I'm not necessarily banking on Rudy.
Okay.
But Joel Embiid is their whole team.
No, not third best player in the league, Tyrese Maxey.
Oh, Nick.
Okay,
Shout out
they
to Coach Cove.
They have 2 players. My bad.
I think the Sixers roster is the best one they've had since they had Jimmy Butler the 1 year.
Okay.
But I don't. They are definitely a deep team, especially with the guards. But stacking up against these top teams, I think if they had played, if Embiid was healthy and they could have been a higher seed, they might have had a better chance. But I don't think they'll be able to do it now.
Best case scenario, they make it to the conference championship. Most realistic scenario, they're out in the first or second round.
I could easily see them falling into the play-in and not even. I mean, they'll probably make the playoffs, but it'll be close.
They could definitely fall in the play-in. They're only a game and a half ahead of teams 6 through 8. Like the East is just as not as crazy as the West, but it is still very crazy and close.
I mean, yeah, if they we're talking about contenders, they might not even make the playoffs. They're like. Yeah.
Well, neither are the Lakers or the Warriors, but we still had to put them in there.
The Lakers have proven playoff players.
Good. That's a good point.
That is true.
That's a good point. Another team in the East with proven playoff performers that have struggled this season until, I guess this weekend, the Milwaukee Bucks. Contender or pretender this season? It's been a very odd year.
Pretender.
Who's the head coach?
Defense.
Oh my! Are you gonna base this off Doc Rivers?
Who's the head coach?
Oh gosh, yes,
it's Doc Rivers. They're pretenders. They're pretenders. They're pretenders.
No, or Ray Allen? Nope.
They're pretenders. They're pretenders. It's Doc Rivers. I'm sorry.
Wow. So we're discounting a Dame Giannis team in the playoffs to be a contender. Yep. It doesn't matter because Doc.
I'm not just saying it because of Doc. No, I'm not just saying it because of coach. They don't play defense. They played a little bit recently.
They have the problem is with them.
It's terrible.
What we've seen since Doc has been there, their defense has gotten a little better, but their offense has taken a huge tank. It's like their offense was really good and their defense is trash. Now their defense is solid/mediocre, and their offense is mediocre.
And you know what hasn't happened since he's gotten there? I haven't heard a lick of accountability.
Yeah.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
So the counter to that, right, is it takes time. It definitely takes time to see these things go well. We can even look as early this season with the Clippers. When they acquired Hart, it took them a while to really get things going. And this is basically as big of a move that you make mid-season. It is. You're completely changing your system. You're adding a whole new player in. It's a very difficult thing to do in the middle of the season. We saw the Clippers. It took them a few weeks, and they were able to get it together. I think the Bucks, this could totally be a team where they just rumble into the playoffs and then dominate in the playoffs. No, you don't.
I'm just not buying it. Sorry.
Interesting.
You're right. They can figure it out, and they can get better. But I'm sorry, but if you're putting the Celtics versus the Bucks, and they could possibly play and they could possibly play in the second round, I'm sorry, no.
That's true. If they are in the second
that's
round.
my thing. I can't even put them in a championship because even if they make the Bucks make it past the first round, they're a 4 seed.
No, they might not even make it past the first round if they play their father. They play Mr. Emo himself. He rumbles into there.
Jimmy Butler.
But that's my thing. If they're the 4 or 5 seed and they make it out of the first round, then they're playing the Celtics in the second round. They can't even make it. I'm sorry. I don't see them beating the Celtics.
Yeah, I don't see that. Well, yeah, I don't see that anyone beating the Celtics.
Thank you.
In those first 2 rounds. I just had to make a case for them. I guess I'll go pretender.
Yeah, I guess I'll go pretender. You have to make a case for them. This is all prediction. none of us know. None of us know. We're all making predictions. Anything can happen. It's the playoffs. It'll be craziness no matter what.
Yeah.
I actually have a script.
Next team, let's go to Jackson's favorite team in the East, the New York Knicks.
Contender.
It's still a tough one, man. With the Knicks. Can they
fully
legitimately...
healthy Julius, they're the best team of all time.
What?
They have a proven playoff performer at the point guard. OG is the perfect defender for this team. Mitchell Robinson will probably be back to out-rebound whichever center they play in the first round. I don't care if it's Embiid. I don't care whoever it is. They're contenders. They have the best bench unit in the East. Actually, probably the whole league. Where's the flaw?
Yeah, it'd be them the Clippers.
I want to say pretender.
But you can't because they're not.
You want to let me speak, Goglin? You want to let me speak?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because you're probably going to say something rude.
I'm going to hold my tongue. I want to say pretender, but like Goglin spoke over me and said, I cannot. They have the best bench in possibly the league. They have proven playoff guys. I hate the Knicks. I hate the Knicks. I don't like it. Well, I don't hate the Knicks because I do like a lot of their players. But I very much dislike the Knicks. But I have to say contender. I do. I just have
to. They have all the things that you need.
They have a good defensive coach. They have a good defensive team. They have guys that can score the ball. They have a bench that can carry it with them.
There's no bigger X factor come playoff time than Josh Hart.
The biggest question for them will end up being like clutch time offense.
Yeah.
I don't even think Julius. Like
they should just make him retire. Force him into retirement.
No, we've seen since he's been injured. I know other guys have been in and out of the lineup too, but he does help them in certain ways. He does help them.
Agreed.
At the very least, he provides depth for you when healthy.
It's when OG went down is when they started to play a little worse.
But we've even seen Thibodeau like in the playoffs last year. Like if Julius Randle was having a bad game, he had no problem having him on the bench to close games.
Perfect. Good.
So I think at the very, very least, he provides depth for the Knicks and he does help them. I'm gonna go contenders too because this team, like you guys said, they have everything you could ask for.
Yep.
Finals contenders?
Finals contenders? I'm not sure.
Unfortunately, I don't see anybody beating the Celtics. I just don't.
I definitely think if you had like 100 chips, if you had like 100 chips to put,
I'm putting all 100 on the Knicks.
That's a rough go.
But taking 2 away because of Julius.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Got 2 teams left with a contender or pretender. First up, let's talk about our Cleveland Cavaliers.
Contender.
See, this is another one that's super tough to figure out. And mainly, I guess, similar to the Timberwolves, it's because they struggled like last year in the playoffs. And at certain points, you see where they could fall in the playoffs.
Doesn't matter to me.
You said contender, Jackson?
Yes, I like the Cavs. The Cavs team is great. They have depth. Don't do that.
I'm shocked because I even have them as a pretender. I love the Cavs.
Just fake.
I'm the biggest, according to you, Cavs glazer there is.
No, you're just the glazer of everybody.
From what I see is exactly what Miles was saying. The things that they're doing, like in the regular season and what they got beat on last season in the playoffs, is the same thing they're still doing. Allen and Mobley, Allen's having a really good year. Mobley's having a decent year. But what do I see? I don't see them being dominant. And I can definitely see them getting bullied on the boards again in like in the playoffs, and if that happens, we're screwed.
Okay.
We're absolutely screwed.
They definitely are the biggest X. They definitely are the biggest X factors. The thing going for this team is that really, besides I guess that hoping that they mature and are ready for the moment this year, everything that was a problem for this team last year has been addressed. Everything has been addressed, and everything has been really fixed. The 3-point shooting has been fantastic this season from a lot of different players. There's a lot of depth. Like, at all times when healthy, you're going to have 2 all-star caliber players on the floor at the point guard and center position. Like,
you got all-star caliber Money Merrill off the bench.
And Donovan Mitchell, besides, I guess, Game 4 of the Knicks series last year and the year before that, he's been one of the best playoff performers and playoff risers in NBA history when looking at NBA scoring in the postseason average-wise. Like,
especially when he plays Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray.
Those two had one of the greatest 1v1 series I've ever seen in my entire life.
And the thing too for this Cavs team is they can match up with all these teams at the top as well.
It just like you said, the X factors are Mobley and Allen. If they hold their ground and the moments and the lights aren't too bright for them, then I could say contender. Conference championship contender. I don't know about finals contender. I'm not there yet.
I'm gonna go. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
Contender too.
Finish. Go ahead, Joey.
But I just don't know. I'm staying consistent with my thinking. Until I see it, I won't believe it. That's how it is. Same thing with the Timberwolves. Same thing with the Cavs.
That is fair enough.
If they show it to me, they can do it.
I think I'm gonna go with the Cavs and say that they are
contender.
I'm gonna go and say that they are conference final contenders. And the only reason I'm different with them and the Timberwolves is I feel like the competition in the East is more lackluster than the West.
Yeah. Like you said, that we match up better with the teams in the East.
I don't Jackson. I don't think it's that outlandish to say that the Cavs have a better chance of making the conference finals than the Timberwolves do of making the conference finals.
I mean, I guess.
I don't know how that's
I think it's very close between those two teams. But final team, and this I saved them for last for a reason. This may be the hardest team to actually determine contender or pretender. Yes, the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is definitely the hardest team for me to really figure out because they have absolutely everything that a championship team would have. They have a superstar. They have depth. They have defense. They have great 3-point shooting. They have great coaching. But they have no playoff experience.
Size?
Yeah, size, I guess too. Size as well is a little bit of a weakness. But besides that,
I think that they are Western Conference Finals contenders, maybe, and that's maybe.
I think that's the furthest they go as well. Personally, I think the no playoff experience isn't going to hurt them as much, like if they're a first round exit or not, like the Cavs were. I think they can I think they can make it past the first round, even with the no playoff experience. However, I see them getting knocked out in the second round or making it to the conference finals, but not making it to the finals. So best case scenario, I think they make the conference finals.
I don't trust their size. I mean,
if you put them against the Timberwolves,
they get dominated down low.
Yeah.
If they play the Nuggets, get dominated down low. Get dominated down low. Play any of those teams, you're getting dominated down low.
That's what I'm saying. Second round, I think second round exit's pretty comp.
Because who would they like? They're what the third seed?
They're the second seed, and they could definitely get one. That's why it's hard to really determine like set matchups because these could change by the end of the week.
But like if they're where they are now, who's the first seed? The Timberwolves.
Right? The first seed is the Timberwolves.
Second seed is the Thunder.
Nuggets and Suns.
And then the Nuggets are third?
Yes.
Yeah,
so right now
so
the
if
Thunder,
they play the Nuggets in the second round, I'm sorry, I think the Nuggets beat them.
Well, yeah, because they don't
That's
have
what I'm saying. I don't think I think they're more of a pretender, unfortunately.
But
I love rooting for this team, but I don't see them making out of the second round.
Denver matches up to them so well.
I want to see the Thunder pull this off so much. Like I would love to see them pull it off.
I want to root for them so bad.
Like this would be.
I think they're 1 year away.
This is the ultimate test to see if experience really matters or not for a team at the top of the standings. When is the last time that we've really seen this besides the old Thunder when they first got Westbrook and Durant from the draft and Harden and Ibaka? Like
I don't know, but it's J-Dub as a 4. That's just I don't know how I feel about it.
You know who would be perfect for them, I think?
Paul
George.
that'd be a
not for the
fit.
height thing you're saying, but I'm just saying like if they had like SGA then and the PG and then a Chet,
that's a bad
I think
fit.
they match up better. They
Paul
match
George
up better with the Nuggets then.
I disagree.
That doesn't change their size. Like that's a 2-inch height difference from J.
No,
you can't have a 6-foot power forward. That's the only thing I don't like.
Another question too is I'm quickly looking right now. They have 7 players on the season shooting 40% from 3 or better that play for them, legit minutes. And Shea is right behind them shooting 38%. He could get up to 55, 40, 90 on the season. But like Aaron Wiggins shooting 52% from 3.
Playoffs we're talking about here.
Yeah. J-Dub is shooting 45% from 3. Isaiah Joe and Cason Wallace, 42% from 3. Lou Dort is shooting 40% from 3, and he's mainly out there for defense.
Yes, but a lot of those guys are really young with no playoff experience.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to the experience. I think I'm gonna be a believer. I'm gonna say contender for a conference final.
All right.
Yeah, that's what we're saying too.
I said pretend. I don't think they make it. I think they're out in the second round.
Oh.
Now, if you are a Thunder, if you're in the Thunder organization and the Thunder coaching staff, like, what is failure for this team if you don't get to the?
There isn't at this point.
But like, well, I think there is. If you get to the, well, no, if you make the playoffs and lose to the first round to like the 7th or 8th seed, I think that's a failure.
That's a failure. Well, you have to make it to the second round, I think.
If you play the Lakers or the Warriors or even the Pelicans or the Mavericks, who are all playing right now,
the Thunder
those are all beatable teams.
The Thunder should beat all those teams.
Those are all beatable teams.
Yeah, I guess.
They should have high expectations because they're a high seed. But they should have realistic expectations where they have no playoff experience. And like you said, Goglin, I think they're 1 season away.
Yeah. I mean, you never know, though. Sometimes, like, you hear from veterans that, like, maybe, when you don't have the experience, you just don't know any better. So maybe that helps them in a sense that they haven't been there before. But definitely the hardest team to really determine with that.
That's probably going to be like my must-watch team when it comes playoff time. Like I just want to see what they do.
Not the Cavs. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a legit chance that
Jeez, oh my God.
See, I'm not
low
key have a team in the playoffs, so I'm just gonna root for all the teams I like.
Low key, the Cavs may end up being
the regular season, Goglin.
It's not, but.
Like, the Cavs may end up having the most boring or worst first-round matchup if they play the Magic, if I'm being honest, because it's just too slow defenses.
You guys are losing to the Magic,
too.
But yeah, that was contender or pretender. A lot of teams that definitely have a shot at it. Like, this is like one of the rare times. I mean, maybe last year was kind of like this, where you had so many teams in the race.
Dude,
this is going to be one of the best playoffs.
I'm so ready for this draft. I'm about to shock everybody.
Well, we're still on playoff talk, but I'm very. This playoffs is one I'm looking forward to than I have in most recent years.
Yeah, the podcasts are going to be so much fun when it's playoff time. We can actually take time to really break down what's going on in each game, because it's hard to do that sometimes during the season with all these teams.
I was about to say, once the playoffs start, we're going to be doing like our two episodes per week still, most likely. But instead of doing all these like fun little segments all the time, we're just going to break down the games because there's only going to be like 4 games a night.
It's going to be so much fun. But let's get to the draft. It's our second draft really ever in Runnin' the Paint history. And it's going to be every current international player. So we're going to draft a starting 5. We randomized the draft order before this. So Jackson has the first pick, Joey has number 2, I have number 3, and it's serpentine, so it reverses back around. It's going to be fun. There's international talent. It's loaded throughout the league, so this should be a lot of fun.
I already know how I'm gonna build this.
It's an international game. Don't you love that? I love it. Me personally, I love seeing people from like all other countries, man.
Yeah.
I love that it's an international game.
NBA is definitely a global game.
My strategy only works if you don't mess it up.
If you don't take LP in the first pick, I'm taking the second. Okay. R.I.P. to your dream.
No, that's not my dream. I know exactly who my center's gonna be.
All right. Let's go ahead, Jackson. Who's your first pick?
SGA.
Wow.
Wow, that's not good.
No, I got a plan.
All right, he's got himself a plan. All right.
Well, I said my second pick. Just kidding. It's Jokic. He was my first pick in fantasy.
Good,
he was my first pick here.
Good. I was hoping you wouldn't pair Slovenian boy Wonder up with Jokic.
I was hoping that would fall to me. That was going to be my plan.
Yeah. I couldn't let that happen. I thought, I'm like, if you put Doncic and Jokic together, it's over.
Okay, so I'm with my first pick. I'm taking Giannis.
Okay, I figured you would take that.
And then I'm taking Luka and Giannis to start my team.
I expected you would have those two.
There we go. All right. I might shock you with this.
Don't care.
But I am going to go Lauri Markkanen.
Okay, you're an idiot. I'll take Joel Embiid. You're actually so dumb.
Shoot, I was hoping you'd go with the double bigs with Embiid.
No, you just made that so easy for me.
Small forward at 6'10", 6'11". Oh, I'm tight.
Oh my gosh, we let Embiid go to the 6th pick.
That happened.
I was hoping.
I was another one.
You do. I was hoping that since Jackson hates Embiid, he would have picked.
That's what I was hoping too. I was like, "There's no way he takes Embiid."
And Embiid would fall back to me. That's what I was.
Oh no! If Embiid made it back to me, I was gonna take him. But I was like, "Oh, he's not taking Embiid. He hates him."
All right.
See now we're in a little bit of a pickle here.
Yeah. So you've got SGA and Embiid. Joey's got Lauri, Markkanen, and Jokic, and I have Luka and Giannis. We're all off to decent starts.
All right. I think I know. I think with my third pick, I'm gonna take Sabonis.
Ooh,
put him at my 4.
SGA, Sabonis, and Embiid. All right, Joey.
Well, there's not many guards out there, so I'm gonna have to pair up the championship duo, and I'm gonna take Jamal Murray.
Good pick.
I was gonna pick Jamal, but then I
gotta put them together. They literally won a championship together.
Okay, so right now I've got Luka and Giannis. I need a big that can space the floor, play some defense. So we're gonna go with Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I was thinking about it. I really was.
Now this is where it could.
Yeah, you guys are not ready for you guys are not ready for the death lineup.
All right, let me do some quick research on this one player.
You have 4 seconds.
Jackson, you got a whole minute to do your pick, buddy.
Yeah.
I literally have had. Oh yeah, I guess I did take a little bit.
You did. You were staring into the viewer's soul.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So
please don't take my guy. Don't do it.
I am going to take Mr. OG Anunoby as my small forward.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes, dude, that's perfect. Thank you.
Defense doesn't need the ball a lot, but can hit the three.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Joey, don't take my guy, and we won't have a problem.
I need another
You're
big.
smiling. Damn it, you're doing it.
I will be taking Al P.
Yes.
What?
You know what time
Joey was trying to predict Jackson's next pick, but Jackson.
No, I wasn't trying to predict anything. I just wanted Al P. He's having the best year of his career.
Şengün and Jokic?
Are you guys ready to hear my death lineup?
Let's hear it.
Jeez, this is gonna be scary.
I'm gonna make my next two picks simultaneously. We're gonna have SGA at the 1, Franz at the 2, Victor at the 3. Yep, Wemby at the 3. It's the bonus, and Joel Embiid.
We are laughing at you. We are scoring on this team all day long.
Thank you. Thank you, Miles.
Who are you scoring on?
Thank you, Miles.
Who are you scoring on? Sabonis and Franz? That's it?
We're scoring on everyone. I know, Shea's been a great defender this year, but dude.
Embiid's been a great defender.
Embiid will get Embiid into foul trouble. Wemby's too thin to do anything.
I'm sorry, but we can literally just run past you guys.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I like the demigod thought though. I like the demigod.
I like the height though. The height is gonna be fun. You're gonna put this into 2K, right, Miles?
Dude, I might actually. That'd be fun. All right, Joey, what's your final pick? No.
You already said your pick. I need a shooting guard, and because I'm all about the good chemistry on my team, I got Jamal Murray and Jokic. I need another Canadian. Give me RJ Barrett as shooting guard.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay, so all right. So I've got Luka, OG, Giannis, and Porzingis. Now,
who are you guarding?
Who am I guarding? Guarding everybody.
Good thing Giannis can literally guard every single position out there.
And OG is an elite defender. Porzingis is a good rim protector.
Yeah, you don't have a cold white boy like Franz.
See, now with Jackson doing this mega lineup, I'm thinking that I might need to go big as well.
You need some height. That's why I'm happy I took Markkanen now. That's why I'm happy.
Might need some height. You know what? I am gonna do it. I am going to do it. I am taking Rudy Gobert with my final pick.
There it is. Yep.
Okay. Put him on Victor. Victor's saucing him up. Go right ahead.
So I've got Luka, OG, Giannis, Porzingis, and Gobert.
We're running y'all.
Murray, Barrett, Markkanen.
But you're saying you're gonna run past us? How are you gonna run? Wemby's definitely faster than Lowry Markkanen.
All right, then pull up for 3. Easy money. Dude, I like all our teams.
I like all our teams. I think y'all think my team's the weakest, but I got that good chemistry, man. I got that good chemistry. Well, you guys are gonna be wondering who's gonna be defending who, shooting what. And my team's just going to be clicking on all cylinders, running the figure 8 around you guys.
I don't understand how you took. You could have paired up the 2 MVPs.
Dude, Jokic and Embiid would have been unstoppable.
If I took Embiid, my mom would be losing her mind.
I think if Embiid had gone then Jackson, it would have been tougher for Jackson to build a good team.
Yeah. That's
but
true.
I think we all did a decent job.
My plan definitely was not to take, or not for him to be taken there. I had SGA first. I probably would have gone dude, I might have gone Victor second. I'm not gonna.
Really?
Dude.
Wemby was gonna be my final pick.
If we put this in 2K, yeah, Victor is kind of a cheat code.
I'm not gonna lie.
Put him a small forward, he goes to a 94.
But Rudy Gobert clamps up in 2K too. That's what we base it off of. But that is our draft. If only Coach Cove would have been here, I would have loved to see what craziness he would have done.
Taken some BS. He would.
No, I would have. This would have made it so much easier.
Dude, he would have taken Tyrese Maxey for somehow.
Yes, I was gonna say he's still gonna have a Tyrese. Oh, I thought this was the all Tyrese draft.
Maxey, Halliburton.
Now, if this was an all-time international team,
easy.
I would smoke you guys.
Why?
Because
I would have the best shooter in NBA history on my team.
He's going Drazen Petrovic, number 1.
Drazen Petrovic.
Bingo!
Nice.
Bingo!
The best shooter of all time. That might be the most wild statement I've ever.
Hey, Reggie Miller does say that he was like the biggest guy, like the one guy he has the most respect for.
Drazen Petrovic, if you ask anybody that played around him or played against him, would have told you that he had the best shot they've ever seen.
Yeah, but to call him the best shooter ever is
good thing we've evolved from that. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Shout out to Drazen Petrovic. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
You guys got anything else?
Smoke Goglin in the comments for being such a bully this episode.
Please do. The first 35-40 minutes, Jackson was on something.
Yeah, and then you guys bullied my team. Dude, Joey, your team might be the most slow, clunky team. Your final 3, Lowry, Jokic, and Alp. Who is playing defense? No, like I've watched.
You know what? You have a point. My team has no defense.
I've watched every single Rockets game. Alp is not guarding a big man in his life.
You know, I will have to concede that fact. We don't play defense, but luckily I'm the coach, so we teach defense.
We don't teach nothing.
Oh my gosh. All right. Nothing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment with what you think about this draft or the contender or pretender. So many tough teams. Exciting to see how we'll finish up the regular season. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe for more NBA content. In the description, we'll have links to the Instagram and Spotify. Definitely go check those out. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will catch you in the next one.
Peace.